As this story unfolds, the atmosphere around the boxing world grows heavier, not because of punches thrown inside the ring, but because of the blows being delivered outside of it, aimed directly at reputations, careers, and legacies. The situation between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul has transformed from a simple fight negotiation into something far more controversial and damaging. What began as promotional banter has spiraled into one of the most reckless public relations attacks seen in recent boxing history. The accusations leveled against Tank Davis by a young woman set the stage, but it was Jake Paul's decision to publicly declare that he had seen video evidence of Davis assaulting her that ignited the firestorm. The problem, however, is that no such video has ever surfaced, and every piece of legal documentation surrounding the incident confirms that no video exists. With almost a month having passed since the alleged incident, many expected Jake Paul to either release the evidence he claimed to have witnessed or clarify his statements. Instead, silence. No footage, no confirmation, no acknowledgement beyond the initial inflammatory remarks. For a man who prides himself on transparency, social media dominance, and speaking directly to his audience, the absence of proof speaks volumes. Meanwhile, Tank Davis now carries the weight of accusations that may never be proven, yet continue to shape public perception. Certain media voices eagerly capitalized on the chaos, counting the days Tank had supposedly blown the bag, broadcasting the narrative that he ruined his own career before anyone had an opportunity to evaluate facts. Those same voices have grown remarkably quiet now that the promised evidence has failed to materialize. What makes this situation even more disturbing is that legal consequences may soon follow. Defamation of character in the age of viral media is no small matter, especially when the accusations involve criminal behavior. Tank Davis, whose reputation has already suffered from previous legal issues and public scrutiny, now faces another stain that may have been entirely fabricated or exaggerated for promotional leverage. When someone with Jake Paul's platform claims to have seen incriminating video evidence, people listen. Brands listen. Promoters listen. Fans listen. Even if the claim is false, the damage can be irreversible. That is why many now believe Tank Davis has grounds for a lawsuit. A breach of contract claim for canceling the fight abruptly, and a defamation lawsuit for public statements that cannot be supported, could become very real problems for Jake Paul in the near future. Yet as this controversy simmers, another storyline has emerged involving Jake Paul's decision to pivot toward a fight with Anthony Joshua. According to those around Paul, choosing Joshua over Davis was simply a business decision. Some argue that facing a much larger heavyweight allows Paul to frame a potential loss as bravery rather than incompetence. Losing to a smaller fighter like Tank Davis could make him look like a bully who finally picked on the wrong little guy. Losing to a towering, fully grown heavyweight like Joshua reframes the narrative into one of courage and spectacle. But others believe Paul and his team saw something far more threatening in Gervonta Davis, a dangerous, explosive puncher with elite skill and no tolerance for games. The sudden shift to an 8-round format for the proposed Joshua fight raised even more suspicion. Analysts speculate that if the fight lasts more than a round, Joshua may be carrying Paul to make the show look competitive. If it ends in under a minute, it may indicate Joshua simply overwhelmed him immediately. The entire situation feels like a carefully constructed performance rather than a legitimate sporting contest. Jake Paul is not a world-class fighter. His success has been built on selective matchmaking, intense marketing, and exploiting loopholes in the combat sports ecosystem. Facing Davis would have stripped away all of that and exposed him in front of millions. Meanwhile, the comparison between Jake Paul and Devin Haney adds another layer of criticism. Both have been accused of manufactured careers, built more on promotion than merit. The difference, however, is that Haney is actually a skilled boxer with legitimate accomplishments. His image may involve hype, but his talent cannot be denied. Jake Paul, on the other hand, has yet to prove he belongs anywhere near the elite level. What frustrates many fans and commentators is the pattern of tearing down other fighters to elevate his own brand. By attacking Tank Davis publicly and repeatedly, Paul engaged in the same tactic used for years by Devin and Bill Haney, who constantly invoked Davis's name to build their own. This cycle of using controversy, accusation, and slander as promotional fuel has become far too common in boxing. Instead of earning opportunities through performance, many now rely on outrage to gain attention. The issue is that real people are affected. Reputations are tarnished. Careers are compromised. Fans become divided not over skill or competition, but over rumors and unverified claims. The sport loses integrity, replaced by sensationalism and spectacle. The question now becomes whether anyone will take responsibility for the damage done to Gervonta Davis's name if these accusations collapse under scrutiny. Will there be apologies? Will the media voices that celebrated his downfall retract their statements? History suggests they will not. Once a narrative takes hold, even the truth struggles to undo it. This situation highlights a deeper problem within boxing culture. The sport has always thrived on drama, but when the drama overshadows the fights themselves, the foundation begins to crack. A fighter's worth should be determined in the ring, not through manufactured scandals. Gervonta Davis deserves the opportunity to defend his name with facts, not rumors. If Jake Paul cannot produce the evidence he claimed to have seen, then accountability must follow. Otherwise, promoters, influencers, and media figures will continue weaponizing accusations for profit. Now that the dust is beginning to settle, fans are left with an important question. Where does the responsibility lie when false narratives are spread? Should fighters and promoters be allowed to say anything without consequence simply because it benefits their business? Or does the sport need to draw a line to protect its athletes from character assassination disguised as marketing? If you've been following this situation closely, now is the time to make your voice heard. Do you believe Jake Paul should be held accountable if no video ever emerges? Should Tank Davis pursue legal action to clear his name? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more honest, detailed coverage of the boxing world. Your support keeps these conversations alive, and we'll be here watching every development